Okay. Chapter 15. To the Ends of the Earth. Ellie, Richie, and T raced past two dismounted and wounded guardsmen who must have tangled with a horseman earlier. The astonished guards didn't understand what the kids were yelling as they raced by. A moment later, Lulu and his last horseman bolted by in pursuit. The guards looked at each other, not sure what to do. As the yellow hood zoomed down the road, Ellie hollered, "Richie, I've got to say, that thing you did with launching your sail cart at Lulu, that was crazy," interrupted T. "Insane. That was just insane," finished Ellie. Richie smiled. It hadn't been the plan, it was just instinct. As if his sail cart had an extension of himself, he would have done anything to protect his friends. He suddenly had a bad feeling. Wanting to get a good look at the road behind them, he gave a quick jerk of the steering wheel and pulled off, and a pull of the brake for a second before letting it go. His sail cart spun around, so he was now facing backward. Richie felt one of the wheels start wobbling. "You can do that?" exclaimed Ellie. "Lulu!" yelled Richie, deftly spinning his sail cart back around. T and Ellie glanced over their shoulders. Their stomachs tightened with fear as they saw Lulu and his horsemen galloping after them. "They're gaining on us!" yelled Ellie. "Richie, any idea how we can charge our sticks and not crash?" asked Ellie. "I've never sailed this fast." He looked at the simple controls of the sail cart. Okay. I've got it. Bring your sail down and use your knees on your steering wheel, like this." Richie started to fiercely wind up his shock sticks. Ellie copied him. Recognizing a distinctive gnarled tree and large rock, T realized they were near where she and Ellie had tested out their first homemade sail cart weeks ago. Glancing over her shoulder, T confirmed Lulu and his horsemen were only a dozen yards behind. She sought a quick look at her friends. Their weapons were ready and sails back up. Taking a deep breath, T made her decision. She pulled her hood back, revealing herself, and turned to lock eyes with Lulu. His face became red with rage as he recognized her. T turned her sail cart off the road and into the forest. Lulu immediately fouled. "Where's she going?" screamed Ellie. "What's she doing?" The horseman, still pursuing Richie and Ellie, fired his pistol, but missed both of them. Richie glanced back and threw his first shock stick at the horseman. While his throw missed, it caused the horseman to drop his pistol. The horseman was almost on top of them now. He pulled out his sword. Reaching down, he swung the blade in a wide arc, cutting Richie's sail in half. As Richie tried to maneuver, two of his wheels fell off, and the sails cart spun out. Ellie looked at her remaining shock stick. Recognizing she was almost in front of her own house, and knowing the next section of road like the back of her hand, she took a chance and stood up in the sail cart. She turned backward to face the grinning horseman as he prepared another swipe, and then expertly threw the shock stick at him. "Bullseye!" yelled Richie as he saw the horseman flail and fall off his horse, rolling into the bushes. Ellie sat back down, yanked down at the sail, and pulled hard on the brake, bringing her cart to an abrupt stop. After taking a moment to catch her breath, Ellie looked up to see her parents standing outside, staring in awe at what they had just witnessed. They looked at the riderless horse trotting on by, then Richie, who was cheering as he ran toward Ellie, and then back to their daughter. They weren't sure what to make of it. Ellie climbed out of the cart and smiled at her parents. "Sorry, I can't talk about it now. Official Yellowhood's business." "Huh?" said her parents, dumbfounded. T needed to maintain strict focus in order to control her sail cart as she rocketed down the mountainside. The last time she'd taken advantage of every opportunity to slow down. This time she tried to go as fast as she could. Lulu was trying to run her down. She could hear him screaming incoherently behind her. Meanwhile, back at T's home, William and Jennifer had just finished loading the second trunk into the cart. "I think that's everything," said William. "I can't believe that even with all the other stuff out there, the house still looks pretty full." "Do you hear something?" asked Jennifer, glancing about. William listened and looked around carefully. "Sounds like it's coming from over there," he said, pointing. "That's sound." "I can't figure out what it is," said Jennifer. What had started as a single rumbling noise quickly separated into a concert of distinct sounds. Tree branches snapping, underbrush being crushed, wood knocking on stone, a horse whinnying, and a familiar high-pitched voice calling out. "Get the crossbow!" yelled Jennifer. "Now!" "Huh? Why?" said William, though he reacted immediately and started to search. "It's T!" said Jennifer. "Are you sure?" replied William, confused. "Yes, something's wrong." Both of them searched fiercely for the crossbow and the bolt with the rope attached. "Why can't we ever remember where we put that thing?" yelled William, frustrated. Over the noise came T's desperate voice. "Mom! Dad! Help!" Jennifer was almost paralyzed by the screams of her baby girl. "Will, I've got the bolt with the rope. Quick! She'll be here any second." Jennifer started to track where T might be coming from. "Got it!" yelled William, sprinting from the other side of the house, crossbow in hand. Jennifer handed the bolt to her husband. "Someone's chasing her." William yanked the string back hard with one hand, cocking the crossbow. "She's coming too fast, Will," said Jennifer, panicking. "Slow down, T!" she screamed. After placing the bolt in the crossbow's barrel, William aimed for where Jennifer pointed, awaiting her exact target. The second seemed to stretch out forever until in the blink of an eye, T shot out of the forest and across the clearing, with the Lou only a few yards behind. William was beside himself. "The cliff, I didn't have time," he stammered quietly. Before any emotion could settle in, Jennifer yanked at William's arm and yelled, "Come on!" They darted after T. Seconds later, they heard a horseman's prolonged neigh, a loud crash, and then silence. As T re-entered the forest across the clearing, she realized her parents couldn't save her this time. She was closing in on the cliff. When the familiar tree came into view, T remembered how she, her grandfather, and Dad had reinforced it, trying it back with the cable work her grandfather had crafted and packing down the roots with more soil. Her grandfather had also secured a mysterious iron ring to the tree at about his shoulder height. He'd measured it where it was to go a half a dozen times, and after installing it had tried his best to pull it out, but it held firm. He hadn't explained why he'd attached the ring. All he had said was, "I put it here just in case." T pulled the sail cart's brake with both hands, but sensed it wouldn't be enough at this distance. There must be some other way, she thought, her eyes desperately searching for an answer. Then she noticed the other lever, similar to the brake on the right, but on the left. It hadn't been there before. Grandpapa. With nothing to lose, T pulled the second lever with all her strength. Suddenly, 5 mini crossbows shot out of the front of the sail cart, trailed by thin black cables. As her grandfather must have expected, one connected with the tree's iron ring, and like magic, locked itself securely in place just as T and her cart went sailing off the cliff. The horse, upon seeing the cliff edge, neighed with panic. It violently turned and started back up the mountain, throwing Lulu into the air. He grinned at the thought that T would share his fate, but then the slack in the cable ran out, and both T and her sail cart flew through the air in a semicircle and back onto the cliff's edge. "No!" screamed Lulu. A moment later, T's parents arrived to find their daughters face down in the dirt and leaves. Her sail cart lay a few yards away, smashed and tangled in cables. To their relief, T rolled over and looked at them with her beautiful large brown eyes. After repeatedly checking herself for injuries and hugging her parents, T said, "I guess Lulu won't have to worry about people knowing he was defeated by the Yellow Hoods." Her parents chuckled with nervous relief. "You forgot something," said Jennifer. "What's that?" asked T. "Your triumphant la-la," answered her mom sweetly. T thought about it for a moment. For years, T had added her special exclamation to things she'd done, but none of them had been as serious as this. Sitting on her dad's knee and looking at the trees and their enchantment-colored leaves, she said, "Mom, I think I might have outgrown it." Her parents hugged her tightly.